Oh yeah, party time. It's almost like we're flying a helicopter. Oh, there it is.
Hey, I'm Heavy D, and this is Diesel Dave, and we're the Diesel Brothers. Today, we get the honor of hosting a truly historic day for Polaris and the Polaris Ranger. See, you'd be hard-pressed to find an off-road vehicle that's made as big an impact as Ranger. It's the ever-reliable workhorse, always there, ready to lighten the load, whatever the job, whatever the challenge.
It's why Ranger has been the #1 selling utility side-by-side for 16 years.
And just like there's always more work to be done, Polaris's commitment to innovation is relentless. That's why they've never stopped working on Ranger.
And that's why we're here today. Today we get to show the world a brand new Ranger model that expands the Polaris Ranger lineup. Make no mistake, it's a Ranger unlike any other.
It is loaded with features and capabilities that create an entirely new class of extreme duty UTVs. We absolutely can't wait to pull the sheets on these new machines and show them off for the first time. But we gotta be patient and can't jump the gun just yet. As much as we think we know about Ranger, there was no way we were gonna do this on our own. Not when you think of all the time and effort the Polaris team has poured into the development of this incredible new Ranger. That's why it's only appropriate that we're joined by one of their own. Vice President of Polaris Off-Road, Chris Judson, is here to help us do the honors. Chris,
hey guys, good to see you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, this is awesome.
Listen, you gotta tell us, how and why did you decide to make a great vehicle even better?
For this new Ranger, we spent over 5 years talking to farmers, ranchers, and large property owners and hunters. And we learned there was an unmet need for owners using their Rangers for exceptionally large tasks and heavy work.
So basically, this thing's like a heavy-duty Ranger.
Exactly. It was about taking many of the things that Ranger is known for and dialing them up even more. Taking strength, capability, and comfort to an even more extreme level.
Chris, let's not keep the world waiting. Can we please unveil this thing already?
Let's do it. On behalf of everyone at Polaris, I'm extremely proud to present the all-new Polaris Ranger XD 1500.
Are you kidding me? These are incredible.
The XD 1500 creates an entirely new extreme duty class of utility side-by-sides to outwork them all. They've been engineered to tackle the toughest jobs and withstand the harshest conditions, to be more capable, stronger, and more comfortable than any other utility vehicle on the market today.
We'll get even deeper into the details in a little bit, but right now, let's watch them in action.
There are never enough hours in a day. They say time waits for no one. And yet, I refuse to be held hostage by its ticking clock. This land speaks a particular language. One that nurtures, yet bucks like a bull out of the gates. Is this land worth knowing? You tell me. It's the will to climb with 3,500 pounds strapped to your back. The confidence to helm hardened steel, while beating to the sound of the earth's drum, and the courage to grip and hold dear to what matters most. This land humbles you, but we're reminded that it's this time we work for. With the all-new Ranger XD 1500, time doesn't have to wait, because you've got it standing still.
Virtually every aspect of Ranger has been addressed with these new models. For starters, they deliver unprecedented capability and feature an entirely new engine, generating the power and torque to haul more than anything else on the market. In fact, this is the only UTV rated to haul 1,500 pounds. I like to call it our 3/4 ton Ranger. In addition, this new XD 1500 is the strongest Ranger ever made, highlighted by the off-road industry's only steel drive transmission. And finally, all that capability and brute strength is combined with an unmatched level of comfort to keep owners going from before the sun rises to after it sets, no matter the conditions.
Chris, all I can say is these machines are flat out amazing, and we really appreciate you coming out to be here with us today.
We're excited too. We can't wait to see the reaction when we get these things in the marketplace. And thanks to you guys for helping us launch the all-new Ranger XD 1500 in some pretty grand fashion.
With these new Ranger XD 1500s, it goes way beyond the stock vehicles and stock features. You see, Polaris has developed a lineup of more than 70 different accessories that allow owners to build out the machine to meet their unique needs. And at the heart of all those accessories is the new Lock and Ride Max system.
It's one thing to have the right tools for the job, but it's another thing entirely to have them with you when you need them. Proudly introducing the first Ranger with Polaris' strongest, most adaptable, and easiest to use accessories platform ever. Lock and Ride Max, a system with storage and adaptability built into its DNA, designed with attachment points integrated right into your machine, allowing you to customize what you bring and how you bring it. With nearly limitless mounting surfaces, you'll have the freedom to secure or reconfigure gear and accessories without any extra tools. Pair the Rhino Rack roof rack and bed rack with Ranger's already impressive hauling capacity to pack and prepare for almost anything. But when bigger is better, you can increase and expand accessory placements or attach the bed extender for even more carrying capacity. That's on top of a cargo box that's already 50% larger. Universal connectors let you fasten cargo with the hooks, clamps, and straps you trust the most, adding to the list of tool-free attachments. From rifles to railroad ties, the Polaris Ranger has you covered. We know that when you're pushing through every season, the seasons like to push back. The Lock and Ride Max system keeps dirt, ice, mud, and snow from building up in the wrong places and slowing you down. With the all-new Polaris Ranger XD 1500, you can maximize, not compromise. So build out the kit you need, your way, and get to work.
We're now joined by Chris Hurd, Utility Product Planning Director for Polaris Off-Road. Chris, we appreciate you being here today. Now listen, I'm really excited for you to tell me all about those, but before we go down there, tell me about this absolute mechanical marvel.
Yeah, for sure. There's a ton of awesome things going on in this engine. It's our brand new 3-cylinder ProStar 1500, so it's 1500 cc, 1.5 liters, just huge, built for big torque and big power to do both at the same time. So very much built to be an engine to work. Also, really cool thing about it is it's got a hot and a cold side. What that gives you is every time you need to service things, you're always on the cold side of the engine. It's also built for longevity, so you've got cool things like iridium spark plugs, you've got coil unplugs going on, just a great amount of stuff going on here to really build the best possible engine for these vehicles.
I've been hearing a lot about this infamous steel drive transmission. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. So we have this whole transmission that's going on here, the steel drive transmission. You're probably wondering what that is. One of the key components to that is going to be the steel belt itself that's inside the transmission. So this is linked together with a big steel band and individual steel plates. Lasts for the life of the vehicle, and the only service you need to do on the transmission, oil and filter changes at 6,000 miles.
Knowing that that's in there and it's not gonna, be a failure item, that gives me total peace of mind. But what's crazy is, we talked about the engine, we talked about the transmission, but there's still so much more to see, right?
A ton more.
Let's see.
Let's go do it.
Chris, I know they say that bigger isn't always better, but right now, bigger looks much better, right? It's a bigger box.
Yep.
It's designed to hold more weight.
Yep.
How much?
So it's another 500 pounds, so 1,500 pound total. So a first 3/4 ton utility vehicle.
You guys weren't joking when you said 3/4 ton.
Absolutely
That's a
not.
real number. How about the tailgate? Made any changes there?
Absolutely. Totally redesigned and rated for 500 pounds.
All right.
That feels good.
Pretty
Feels
sturdy.
strong.
Standard 2-inch hitch here, 3,500 pound towing, and the exhaust is inboard now, so much easier to hook up.
Lots of accessories available, 70 different accessories so far. When you developed those, who were you thinking of?
It's really about all the different consumers that we're trying to reach with this entire vehicle. So it's the hunters, it's the ranchers, it's the farmers, it's the landowners, it's everybody that has something to do with a vehicle. They can find an accessory setup for them that works for how they want to use it.
Back here is all rough and tumble. In there, looks very comfortable.
Whole different
You
story.
show me what's going on in there?
Let's go do it.
All right, Chris, at this point, it kind of just feels like you guys are showing off. What are the quick changes, upgrades, updates that you guys have done?
There's a couple of big things that I really want to point out on the interior. One is the new ergonomic package, so more adjustability for shorter and taller riders. And then the controls layout is different as well. So with the new steel drive transmission, there's a lot of different things we can do, and that all comes together with the rotary control knob that we have on the side here. So that's going to be your drive modes and how your all-wheel drive system works, and then a nice, easy layout of how your headlights and all your other systems work inside the vehicle as well.
Well, Chris, it's obvious that your team put a lot of thought into this layout, the ergonomics, everything's within reach and everything feels so much more intuitive. So not only do I think that I'm gonna appreciate that, but your other customers and people who are spending a lot of time in these things are really gonna appreciate the comfort that you guys have added in this new model. So well done, appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Appreciate it.
I just love the look and obviously more than the look, the function. The fact that you built this thing to actually work. You're not just saying it, you're proving it, you're walking the walk, and I, for one, am pretty pumped about that. However, it's summertime, temperatures are rising. I don't know if you know this about us, but in the summertime, they don't call me Heavy D anymore. They call me Sweaty D, and that's Soggy Dave. And so with that said, is there a machine with AC in it?
There sure is. Let's go
See.
check it out.
One of the most angelic words spoken in my home is North Star. Wanna know why? Because it's comfort for the family and it's comfort for a sweaty guy like myself. Heat, AC, all the premium options and features. This is the North Star Ultimate.
Correct.
And North Star Ultimate is your fully loaded model. So from top to the bottom again, what's the difference between this and the other?
So on the other vehicle, there were a lot of accessories on the front end. It's all standard here. So the lights you see, the D-rings, the winch, all standard. Still has an accessory up a bumper here, but a really tough front end to bring that premium vehicle out.
Now, Chris, what am I looking at as far as wheels and tires here? These look bigger. It's huge.
So this is the standard wheel, 15-inch, and then it's sitting right now on an accessory 32-inch tire, which fits.
So from the factory, it's gonna come with a 29 or a 30-inch tire.
Correct.
But it's all ready to go if you want to throw 32s on there.
Turns out you can go a lot bigger.
Yeah, they fit perfectly and they look very proportional.
Yep.
From there, obviously as you move back, again, the vehicle is just bigger in general, which means there's more room for activities inside the cab.
Yep.
And speaking of cab, it's a lot more comfortable.
It sure is, and there's a lot more features.
Let's see.
Let's go do it. So this is an entirely new HVAC system. So it's got mode controls, so you can designate where you want the air to be going, and then you can also have recirc as well. So you can cool down faster and easier.
Another thing I noticed is that I love that you've relocated the window switches. No longer on the door, they are here on the console. Heated seats?
Heated seats in the top end model.
Wow. One thing I've heard about this new model that I'm pretty excited about is the electric bed tip, right? Push of a button,
Super fast.
tips up, still the same capacity, 1,500 pounds?
Yep, absolutely.
That's pretty impressive. How about audio?
So for audio, when you have the top end Ultimate model that this is, you have your Ride Command system that pairs with your JBL audio, and then your Ride Command Plus system as well for connectivity.
So you guys put a lot of thought into the entire kind of cab redesign, which means it's going to be sealed better.
Yep.
Which means less noise.
Yep.
Less dust.
Yep.
You're going to keep a lot of that precious cold air inside. How'd you do it?
It's an entirely new approach to the cab. The door structure is totally different. The cab structure is all different as well. It's basically an entirely new cab.
Very well done. All right, well, what's going on back here? Even though the cab got bigger and more comfortable, we didn't lose anything back here. But what I love here is one of the accessories that you guys are really flexing with. You kind of went 3D with it. So what I'm seeing is you have the ability to store your tools, but you also don't lose any bed space.
Correct. So you have the awesomeness of Lock and Ride Max, now up and around.
Yes. What are the standard features on a North Star that we should be aware of?
So on a North Star, you're obviously going to get your full cab. You're going to get that awesome interior that's now fully closed in with your air conditioning, your heat, your zone-controlled air conditioning, and your reset capability. And then as you get up into the higher trim, the Ultimate, you're going to get a lot more tech inside. So the heated seats, the Ride Command Plus, the backup camera, all of the goodness that comes with those higher end models.
It's obvious that you and your team and everybody at Polaris put their heart and soul into this machine, and it shows. This is going to be an absolute winner. With that said, I just want to say congratulations and thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Buddy. Well, my friends, by now, you've probably guessed that this isn't the first time that Diesel Dave and I have laid eyes on the new Ranger. You see, one of the perks of being a brand ambassador is that we got our hands on some prototypes before anybody else.
And if there's one thing we know how to do, it's putting heavy-duty machines to the test to see how much they can handle. And we were licking our chops to do the same thing with the new Ranger to see what this whole extreme duty thing was all about. We decided to put this beast through the paces, Diesel Bro style. Let's check it out.
Can we see? Is it in here? Where do we watch that?
It's closer. It's right here. See it?
Now, we could have taken it really easy by just taking the all-new Ranger and just doing some normal test drives. But, as many of you know, that's not the way we do things. Instead, we've decided to take a rather unorthodox approach to testing the new machine by doing some things that you might not see the average Ranger owner doing with their machine.
We're focusing on 3 aspects of the Ranger today. 1, capability. 2, strength. And 3rd, my favorite, comfort.
You see, the Ranger, well, it was born to work hard. So in order to test that capability, we're gonna focus on power and torque. Whether you're pulling a load of hay on the farm or tearing out a stump at home, horsepower and torque are gonna be critical.
And since it's labeled extreme duty, we've got a test that's a bit more extreme.
All right, boys and girls, just a friendly reminder that Polaris off-road vehicles are not designed for or authorized for use on pavement or public roads, just like they're not really designed to haul giant helicopters.
So that means don't try this at home. Oh yeah! Now that's extreme! Are you kidding me? I say hook up another one! Put on another Black Hawk! Wow! This is incredible.
Well, as you can see, with 110 horsepower and 105 foot-pounds of torque, the all-new Polaris Ranger Extreme Duty made very light work of that 14,000-pound Black Hawk helicopter.
And it's safe to say that the new Ranger passes the capability test. Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the strength test of the all-new Ranger Extreme Duty. You see, right behind me, we have the Monster Freedom Bus, and as you can see, it is literally a monster. But with 1,500 pounds of weight capacity in the bed of the new Ranger, thanks to the high-strength steel chassis, I'm pretty sure that the Ranger is going to be able to handle anything we can throw at it.
Sounds strong, but do you think that it's this strong?
We're about to find out.
Come on, Ranger! Yeah!
You know, I gotta be honest with you, I don't think that's what the Polaris engineers had in mind when they designed that bigger, beefier cargo box. However, I must say, it does fit like a glove. Also, this is one of those times where the electric cargo dump feature really comes in handy. The tire's on the way, isn't it?
Yeah,
I should probably leave.
Don't worry.
Now for our next test, we're going to be diving into the comfort of the all-new Polaris Ranger Extreme Duty. You see, Polaris engineers completely redesigned everything on this machine, including all new adjustable seats. I'm telling you right now, the ergonomics of this thing are out of this world. It is completely new upholstery, all new switches, all new dash layout. Everything in this machine is designed for user comfort and durability.
Some models even have heated seats and JBL audio to keep those tunes pouring honey into your eardrums.
Now, comfort isn't all about just what you're sitting on. It's about the way the vehicle moves and handles over different terrain. So today we're going to be testing the suspension and how comfortable it really is.
In order to prove that, we don't have a whole bunch of high-tech suspension testing equipment. But what I do have is one of the best drivers in the world that will put this beast to the absolute test while I run a few tests of my own. You just buckle up because you're about to see something pretty wild. Don't try it at home, but just know we're going to prove this suspension works pretty damn good. All right, let's go!
Well, it's safe to say that we have never run a series of tests quite so rigorous. I mean, we really put this new Ranger through the paces, especially on that comfort test. How did it go?
You went hard, but luckily I had a nice, smooth Earl Grey tea to calm my nerves, and I can safely say that no goldfish were harmed in the making of this video.
Guys, it has been one hell of an adventure as we've been putting the all-new Ranger Extreme Duty through the paces. I mean, we went through the capability test, we went through the strength test, and finally, we went through the comfort test. In every single area, this thing continues to shine and blow our minds. So with that said, it's been a long day.
Yes, it has.
And I could go for a glass of tea.
Oh, let's go get it. Come on.
Hey, where did you learn how to knit?
Grandma.
Well, there you have it. Most capable, most comfortable, brute strength. The all-new Ranger XD 1500. The Ranger XD 1500 and the full lineup of 2024 Polaris Rangers will be hitting a Polaris retail location near you in early fall this year. We've had an absolute blast introducing these new Rangers to the world, and we've covered a lot of ground today. But if you want to know more, just visit Polaris.com.
Thanks for joining us today. We're the Diesel Bros, and we out!